And what? I'm coming back in. All right, here I am. Charlotte, David, how's it going?
That scared me. That scared me deeply.
What?
Nerd reactor, roll out.
Season 4, Mythic Quest. What I really love about this show is I feel like it's like everyone's like a family now. And David, because you've been writing and acting on the show, and Charlotte, there's like a episode in this season you get to direct, and I feel like the cast members, they get to just really have a lot of input. So what makes this show like very special in that regard, where everyone's like just welcoming?
I think that in itself is just so special. I never thought that I would be as lucky as I am to get to work on a show like this, because I think that right from the beginning, all of the producers have really sort of like left the door open behind them for all of us who are really, when I was cast as Poppy, I feel like I was starting out in many ways. I was very nervous to be taking on that role. And I feel like right from the get-go, you guys have all been so supportive of us, not just contributing in the ways that we were cast to contribute, but also finding new ways to contribute to the show. And that's honestly, it's like a huge honor. And so I think it serves the show really well, because it means that it's become very precious to us all. We all want to see it be the best version that it can be, and I think you really see that this season in season 4.
Oh yeah, and David, there's a lot of episodes I like you in, especially the one where we get to see your poker pad and the
My
city
house.
of Cerritos. So I want to know, like, what was the idea? Who came up with the idea? Like, let's have David, just live in Cerritos, and also, how are you as a poker player?
Well, I love poker just off the bat, and my good friend Brian Keith Etheridge, who is a amazing poker player, wrote the episode, and I wanted to make sure that he wrote it because he would know the ins and outs of it, even though they're small poker moments. It's good. It was a fun way to sort of have art reflect life, and that he was able to write a poker episode, and we go and play poker together at casinos out here sometimes. But I think we saw an opportunity for the characters where if Poppy dating, Ian had a bit more free time. He couldn't, work with her all the time. So we thought it would be fun this season to see David sort of swoop in and try to form a friendship. So, and we also thought it'd be fun to finally see the Cerritos that David always talks about, and see what was surprising about it.
And this season is also a big season for Poppy. So I'm pretty sure it's a spoiler, so we won't talk about it. But I guess in terms of the mindset, and I think with everyone just at MQ just trying to help Poppy out, what was like the shift? And like, did you feel the shift? And how did you embrace it?
I think Mythic Quest is really interesting in terms of it being a workplace comedy, because when we meet all the characters at the beginning of season 1, there's not a lot of crossover. There's almost like an upstairs, downstairs vibe. People have got their own jobs, their own things that they're focused on. But in this season, in season 4, when we find all the characters, they've have these relationships, friendships that they've built from season 1. And so we're finally getting to see that real found family thing that is one of the things that I love about this kind of television so much. And honestly, we're all so close in real life as well. So I think it was really fun to get to play with the idea of Poppy leaning into the support that she has in her workplace. This is a big season for Poppy's personal life. She's realizing that maybe there's more to life than just grinding and coding. There's some grinding. Anyway, I won't go into that. But I think
grinding. I know. Yeah.
One of the ways in which there's still like a little bit of a blurred line is that all her best friends are the people that she works with, and it was really fun to get to play with some of those storylines this season.
Yeah. And David, I think throughout the seasons of Mythic Quest, you get to transform, I guess, inside, but also on the outside, whether it's your mustache and your hair. This season, you get the longer hair, and I don't know, like next season, the sky's the limit, right?
I just felt like Rob/Ian was having too much fun changing his facial hair, and in Sunny, he's changed his physical appearance, and I just wanted to take a stab at something. So we grew the hair out, and
Wait, so you grew the hair out for the show?
It's a chicken or egg situation.
Because I thought that was just because I like the long hair.
It's
and I'm kind of sad to see it gone.
It's a look. I had the long hair and we decided, you know what, this seems like a good new look for David.
So one of my favorite episodes in this is the room where it happens, and David, you get to be in there representing video game developers.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it just reminds me of like back in the day with Mortal Kombat being in the limelight, and then video game developers would have to defend that with the Senate. So what was that like for you, like in terms of whether it's like the research or not, like just understanding how video games have transformed throughout the years, and a lot of ups and downs?
Well, I mean, video games are always typically on the forefront of some cultural conversation, whether it's, Tipper Gore or pointing out, or Al Gore, whoever pointing out, that it's a video game violence is causing actual violence, or having this more latest cultural conversation about where the players become the creators, and what if the player is 10 years old and 12 years old, and these are real life conversations and real life congressional hearings. So we like the idea that we are able to have those conversations here, and it also smokes out the values of our characters. And it was a fun episode.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. Yes. In our case, yeah.
All right. Well, Charlotte, David, it's a pleasure chatting with you both, and I can't wait for everyone else to watch season 4 when it premieres.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. And first question I want to ask, this is for you, Imani. You get to direct the episode The Room Where It Happens, and there's inspirations for, I think, like references to Hamilton. So I don't know like what your background is on your love for Hamilton, but I want to hear all about it.
It's a very limited background, John, I'll tell you that. I watched the show during COVID when it aired on Disney, and that was my first time seeing it, and very affected by it. It's a really phenomenal show, so I understand like the following and the cult following that it has, but so I know like David would probably go into very much a lot of detail about his love of Hamilton, but I got the jokes. They were funny. The Hamilton jokes.
Oh yeah. And Danny, for this season, I feel like it's kind of a return to form for your character. Like just the first season and then the fourth season, I feel like a lot of the cast members are back to where they're at. Kinda. There's still some room where it's different. But so what was that like for you? Still trying to be plotting and just being sinister, I guess.
It was really great. I love this idea in season 4 where we are exploring balance as a theme and growth. And I think for Brad, he is coming out of jail, coming out of being a janitor. He's had all these schemes and all these plans, and I think he's drawn back to this weird family because they do accept him. They might not like him. They might fear him a little bit, but I think he has found a place where he's valued here, right? And then this season, he explores these ideas of like, who is he? And there's kind of like some inner exploration. He's doing some inner work this year. Ultimately, he returns, I think, to his number one love, which is money, and this office where he can kind of, scheme and plot and be in a safe way, be a good, playful villain. So that was fun for me to be like, let's stretch a little bit. Let's go out there, see kind of like maybe learn a little bit more about who I am as a character, and then come back and let that inspire our next plot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of villains, I don't know if we're getting to spoiler territory, but Imani, like throughout the years, the seasons, you're like, your character is like, oh, yeah, she's cool, she's sweet, etc. But then this, I feel like there is like a turning point for her. So I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit. And yeah, what can you talk about?
Yeah, for sure. There is a little bit of a there's a dark side to Dana. I'll say that. And I think we kind of play with that in earlier seasons. Like if season 2, when we look back at the Poppy and Dana dynamic of her just kind of like popping back off at Poppy. And then season 3, the intro to that is that she's teaming up with the two darkest people in the office.
Hey, go on.
Go on, Joe and Brad. So I think if she's making the choice to team up with them, then there must be that inside of her. And so yeah, but I think it's sort of required to be the boss and to be the businesswoman that she wants to be. You can't be everyone's best friend. You have to be a little bit selfish and make some sacrifices, and that's what Dana's willing to do in season 4.
Yeah, I can't wait to see like what people's reactions are. And I think what I love about Mythic Quest is, capturing, of course, the gaming development side, but also the side for just people getting to accept like the award show, video game awards, or even the first season with the kind of like a TwitchCon type thing.
Yeah.
And so, how's it like for you now? Like your experiences going into different realms from the entertainment, like movie, TV side, and then maybe like getting the video game fans getting into this side.
I mean, it's pretty great. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a video game expert, so I've learned a lot working on this show. And we have tremendous partners with Ubisoft, and we celebrate the gaming industry. And it's been cool because there's so much that's always happening. The games are constantly evolving, so it always adds a nice, I guess, layer to our show, new material to work with. And for me, it's been fun because now, like, my son is a big gamer, and I play a little bit with him, and it's been fun to see kind of how that knowledge or that world has kind of like made me kind of like see the gaming industry bigger, and like I steal certain things when I watch them, and I'm basically researching my son and his friends for Brad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, and then your son might turn into the next Pudi.
Pudi shoe. We'll see.
Yeah. But thanks a lot for taking the time to do the interview, and yeah, can't wait for everyone else to check out season 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.